Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
Hi, Jesse.
Today, we're reacting to Charlamagne, the G, on The View, and he pushes back a little bit.
I find it very hard to take people like Charlamagne seriously. Who else is it? Andrew Schultz. And then the other guy that you said is bisexual, I think. The blonde guy. He's a comedian. This is where I knew these guys from Guy Code. That's why I can't take them seriously at any extent. Because I remember them just giving advice about how to get chick and like how to be a good bro. And that really helped me like not take them seriously.
I cannot remember his name right now. Chris DiStefano.
I got halfway there on my own.
Chrissy.
Yeah, but didn't you say he's bi?
Yeah, he says he's bi.
That shocked me. Blew my mind. But yeah, I can't take them seriously. If you haven't seen Guy Code, then you don't understand. It's been a long time.
You never know. But let me ask you this: Trump's campaign ads for some,
maybe two.
Yeah, they want him out during the.
What do they think that 2 years is gonna like? What do they think is gonna happen in 2 years versus 4 years?
Don't they have another like? You know what? I just don't know.
It's 4 years every election. Every election's 4 years.
Yeah.
Unless like someone assassinated Trump in exactly 2 years. Like I don't understand where you're getting this number from.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, where's this 2 coming from?
They're saying they were very effective. And in one in particular ad, he used a clip of you from the Breakfast Club saying, quote, Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. You say that line was taken out of context. I know it was. But it went on to become one of his most effective campaign ads. I'm also featured in one of his campaign ads.
You might have been 1 and 2.
Yeah. I was. He texted me and let me know that.
Context. No.
No, it wasn't. But what were you actually saying in the clip? And can you please explain that? And how does it make you feel that the campaign used you like that?
Well, it's never good to be taken out of context, but I was explaining to my listeners how effective I thought the actual ad was. Like, the ad was effective before I was in it. I was just sitting at home watching football, and I saw it, and I was like, whoa. And so I knew the immediate reaction was going to be, people were going to say, hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that. So I was explaining that to my listeners. So, it never feels good to be taken out of context, but what I didn't like the most was that they didn't do anything to combat it.
He's saying that clip was after Trump had already put out an ad saying something along the same lines. But he was explaining it, and then they took that clip? I don't know.
I don't know how they took it out of context, because I watched the full Breakfast Club episode that they used for that ad, and he was just explaining the law under Kamala Harris and that she supports it, and he doesn't want his taxpayer dollars going to it. That's all.
Yeah, I don't understand how he doesn't seem to think it's really out of context either. I think he's just going with the way Sonny is phrasing it. I mean, for him, he gets his name all over the place. Everyone sees his face. Everyone sees the Breakfast Club podcast or whatever it is. It's nothing but a win for him. He's on The View right now.
Yeah,
he's from MTV.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just saying for that. I'm not saying for you.
Oh, yeah.
What if they don't know?
He's from MTV.
Thanks, I had no idea.
Theo Von's from VH1, Road Rules. Or is it MTV? MTV. He's from Road Rules. Okay.
I know he's from MTV.
Yes.
Right.
I would have ran the same ad and just said, Donald Trump, what is it? Donald Trump supports, what is it? What was it?
He was the one that was supporting
Yes, Donald Trump supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. I would have ran the same ad because it was legislation under him as well. And you know what else I would have did if I was our campaign? Since Donald Trump used me, I would have used Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. Joe Rogan said he thought Donald Trump was, I think, unhinged was the quote.
Right.
You got to mix it up. You got to get dirty with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to muddy the waters a little bit, cause confusion.
Yeah. Let me ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to whether or not his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, "Hey man, I'm not focused on that right now." But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy and they were saying that nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him, that's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
No, I think that Charlamagne made a great point. He made a great point about the marketing and the advertising. You could honestly, there are tons of people who voted for Trump who have said, he's unhinged, he's not the person I'd want, da-da-da-da-da. If Kamala Harris's team played their cards right, they could have easily found enough people talking poorly and tried to put someone who was mainstream popular up. He has a good point. They could have used Joe Rogan. They could have used a bunch of people.
You think maybe they didn't use the other side in their clips, like Joe Rogan, even though he's not on the other side, he's in the middle. You think they didn't do that for the same reason they didn't want Kamala to go on Joe Rogan?
I think they did it because they're scared.
I think maybe it's because they didn't want to.
No, because you don't understand. They don't even listen to Joe Rogan to know that's his opinion.
Yeah.
So they're not going to even bother to look in to what he said to find anything that'll help them. They're not even going to go through the source.
Yeah, it seems like the Democrats like to jump on things without actually researching them.
They
and that's
probably
why they
didn't
end up
even-
looking stupid most
They
of the
probably
time.
didn't even know Joe Rogan said anything negative about him. They probably don't know that 90% of the people who talk and voted for him would rather have not, more than likely, would have rather
Yeah.
had a better option, have a lot of qualms with him. But it's not, we don't think Donald Trump is perfect. That's not why we voted for him. We
No.
voted for him because he's not Biden and he's not Kamala Harris.
He's not for the eradication of the word woman, which would be the eradication of every right a woman has, because a woman would be defined as nothing or whatever a person says they are.
I'm tired of my entire sexuality deeming political change, them using us as figureheads or whatever you want to call it, chess pieces in their little game. I'm tired of that. That's why I voted for Trump, because you are not going to say that you're doing this in the name of me when I don't want that done.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of really sick and twisted stuff in the name of gender ideology and
For queers, for homosexuals.
acceptance and all that stuff. And it's just very evil. It's the underbelly behind the whole gender and trans push is very evil. That was it.
It's very evil. It's very f***ed up.
Yeah. But because they're on the side that they think is right. And so
I bet you Charlamagne
Because-
voted for Trump.
probably, but because they believe that their side is right and can never do wrong, they believe that the people pushing for the trans stuff are actually people who are pushing it for a good reason and are doing it for a good reason, a moral reason. Really, most of them aren't. But they can't see past their own.
Hubris.
Yeah, they can't look at their own party and find flaws in it and want to change it. You never, ever, ever, ever hear them talking about that. Ever.
No. And that's they are so stuck in their own
That's
loops.
why they're evil.
But they're also so stuck within their own media cycle. And that's why they never heard Joe Rogan say anything negative about Donald Trump, because they never listened to Joe Rogan. So they never put that in the ads. And I think, like I said, I think Charlamagne voted for Trump. He says it in the most non-believable way. Oh, I didn't like him. Oh, I'm a Kamala person. But listen to him. Listen to him talk.
I know. Now, Whoopi has a sourpuss face right on her face.
That should be our thumbnail.
You can, right. And when I see her face looking like this, it shows me a multitude of things. But a very strong thing that this face gives me is cocky.
Yeah,
I
like
sense
correction. That's the
yeah,
face of
like,
correction.
listen, I've been around longer. I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Let me correct your flawed thinking. They just come across as nasty people. Nasty, smug. Just smug.
Self-righteous.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of
No,
a sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
If I say I'm not going to slap you, okay, and I keep saying I'm not going to slap you, and then let's say you slap me, and then I slap you, did I lie? I still lied. regardless of if what around me changed, I still lied about not slapping you.
I don't think that that's a good metaphor
That's
because
the point she's gonna get at.
because if someone attacks me, I'm always gonna defend myself. So I don't think that's a good point to it. However,
Well, technically his son was attacked, and
that's how he phrased it. However, he said he wouldn't do it because he trusted the courts, he trusted the law process, and he continued to take every word of that and make it mean nothing by pardoning his son. So everything he said means nothing. Every
Right.
point he made means nothing.
right, can you take anything that he
Biden-
says seriously? If something around him changes, then he's going to change his mind, and what he said previously isn't going to matter. That's not the kind of person that I want.
Biden or whoever puppets him is an asshole who
Yeah.
thinks that they can get away with anything. You heard what they did as soon as as soon as the election. He gave all these weapons to what was it, Ukraine, to start just fucking bombing and blowing things up because now he's ready to fuck shit up and get the fuck out. That's the person we put into office, and you want his vice president taking over.
I don't understand.
Someone who's gonna
like,
wait till the
what-
end and then be like blow everything up. That's
They're making excuses for him as if he's not a grown adult who can take responsibility for his own actions.
Hunter or Biden.
Well, I guess you could put it towards both.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
That
So
sounded
we're
dumb.
Woo! Yeah, the black lady is happy a white man took advantage again.
That sounded dumb as.
How come you're not screaming racism now? What about all the black criminals that could have been pardoned instead of his crackhead son?
I don't think she said he didn't lie. He just changed his mind because he saw other people getting away with stuff.
Yeah.
So should we just let everyone do that then?
Is that the new rule of the United States? We can murder as long as you get away with it. Like,
What would be a good analogy for that? Like, I'm telling you I'm not going to do something because I am a respectable person.
I'm not gonna steal your money. I won't steal your money. But then you leave your wallet in front of me, and it's been like you've done this quite a few times, and then I take your money, and you're like, "Holy shit, did you take my money?" And I'm like, "No, I said I'd never do that."
No, you would say, well, in his response to why
yes,
he pardoned
I did
Hunter.
take your money, but you told me I could have some at one point, so here I am taking what's due to me.
Or
I saw someone else reaching into your wallet to take money, so I feel like I should get some too.
That's it. I see everyone else getting away with it. Well, then I should be able to do it too, even though I told you multiple times I wasn't going to do it. That's kind of
I know
fucking how it is.
all your exes stole from you, but I won't. I know all your exes stole from you, but I won't. Where's my watch? Oh, I might have taken it to the store and sold it.
They're making excuses, but the excuses are so retarded that they look so dumb when they're talking. I know they have an audience clapping for them.
Well, like
but
I
they're,
said-
they're just steals. They go, like that.
Like I
I
said-
don't know what they're talking about.
These people who scream racism and misogyny are cheering on an old white dude who has supreme power. Congratulations, you played yourself.
He could have pardoned a lot of black guys who are in prison right now that are innocent. He could have done that, but instead, Whoopi, who cries racism all the time, is
And Sonny.
praising the rich white guy for pardoning his rich white guy's son.
Mm-hmm.
only on The View.
Where is Sonny going?
Only on
Misogyny and
left-wing media.
racism. Where is Sonny? Where is Sonny's little racism and misogyny?
Where
is it? Where is it?
As much as they have said in the past, even in the past week, that they criticize their side, they don't. They don't at all. They're lying right now.
Look,
they're lying.
criticizing poor Charlamagne over here. Look at that eye. Look at those eyes. He's like, you guys are idiots.
And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always.
Okay. Yes. So when all those people were stealing, like smashing, grabbing, the other people were like, why should I follow the straight and narrow if no one else is? So I'm going to smash and grab too.
That's pretty much what happened.
You're making excuses for people doing horrible things because you don't want your side to ever be wrong, because you refuse to criticize your side.
I've seen someone get murdered.
I'm not making excuses for people who do bad things
Let's
just
say-
because I like them.
Let's say I watched someone get murdered. Mm-hmm. Like, I watched 3 people get murdered. So now I think, well, I just watched 3 people get murdered. Now I can murder. Because obviously murder's not that bad, right? Because I saw 3 other people do it, and they're, they
got away with
fine.
it.
So now I get to do it, right?
It's just such a dumb shit thing to say. Like, you're making a horrible excuse for a person who is supposed to be leading our country. Well,
Oh, yeah.
he's just being petty.
He's the prime example. He is the leader of the free world.
And he's
you're
allowed
like,
to be petty.
You can be a petty little bitch if you wanna.
Yeah.
And you're telling him like this: you can be petty if you have the power. Just
You're
like
allowed
they
to,
are.
because Donald Trump did it, so
No,
now
just like
you can
they
do
are.
it. That's what they think.
They are just as petty.
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, these women are fucking crazy.
Whoopi
Like
at one
Looney
point-
Tunes.
Speaking of Looney Tunes, Whoopi at one point did a video for Looney Tunes saying how these videos were previously played and they seem a little racist today. But if we were to ignore them and act like it never happened, then we'd be ignoring all of our history. And now you're sitting here crying racism, misogyny. It is the most insane flip you can see. So
Yeah,
when you got money and power, you became a petty bitch. It's crazy.
That's why you can't take anything that they say seriously, because they have no problem flipping on that opinion and then defending the fact that they flipped on their opinion so they can look moral still, even though to everyone else, they look like they have no backbone, have no integrity, and will do whatever they want in order to get ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
You're
go out.
mis-
They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
Listen,
they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do
we're
that.
mad at him because he changed his.
Oh no! By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning
But
Hunter
you sound
Biden.
like you're
no.
mad.
If I can get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions
Yes, I
and the
understand all that.
impartiality of the
Yes.
Department of Justice.
Yes.
Democrats ran on.
No, but you don't understand all that.
No, you don't.
Because if you would understand that he said that, you'd understand why it's such a big deal that he pardoned his son. I'm not even that mad because it's what's going to happen. It's what's going to happen when anyone in power has their child. Celebrities will pay out cops. The president will pardon his son. I'm not surprised. I'm not mad. It just negates everything he said. It negates every point and shows why nobody wanted to vote for a continuation of that. That's it.
It proves that by him pardoning his son, it proves that the Democrats don't stand by the rule of law.
Or their
They
words.
don't stand by their institutions. They don't stand by their words. And when they don't, they will make every excuse in the book for why they did and why they're still high and mighty above everyone else morally.
But we're supposed to trust you. But we're supposed to believe that you guys have our best interest in mind. No.
You have your own interests in mind.
You have your own interest in mind every time.
Ran on that. This same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. How we shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does. But then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Can you explain to me why it is that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls? He's wrong.
Nobody
he lied.
has criticized Donald Trump more than me or Charlamagne the God.
I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more. But
She is right. She can't stop criticizing Donald Trump. She can't take a step back and say one good thing he's done. You even could, when Biden was leaving, you named one good thing he did, right? Mm-hmm. Don't remember what it was, but still, she's never looked at it from, hang on, he's our president, let me just respect that. She's always looked at him as the enemy, so she only has criticized Donald Trump. Charlamagne has given him praise. She's given him praise. Whoopi, not a fucking second.
I think it was the Rights of Marriage Act or the Protection of Marriage Act. I can't remember what it was, but he signed it into law so that if the Supreme Court decided that they wanted to overturn gay marriage, they would not be able to.
Which at least makes sense because he was in with Obama, who was the one who legalized gay marriage. So it makes sense that he put something in place that keeps it safe. which, good thing. I'm not saying he's all shit, but you can't trust him. You can't trust that he's going to keep his word. And yes, I agree, Whoopi, you have criticized Donald Trump so much more than they have because you can't get out of your own goddamn head.
A lot of criticism every day.
So yes, you were right for once, but like not for a good reason.
Well, but you're missing my question.
Okay.
My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
We don't have the same kind of thing with what? We don't have the same kind of thing with Trump? Who is she fucking kidding? Is she serious right now? Is she trying to make everyone live in a different world than we have been living in?
And this is what Charlamagne's point has been the whole time, though.
Wow.
Because Charlamagne's point from the beginning is if you wanted to win against Donald Trump, you have to play dirty with Donald Trump. That was his point the whole time.
Yeah.
And so her question was, what's different between Joe Biden and Donald Trump? The difference is Donald Trump has played dirty since the day he got here. He will continue to play dirty, and he will say what he wants to say every single time. Joe Biden played it clean. He played it professional. He played it like you would expect someone to who is running for presidency. So to hear someone and see someone flip that is professional, that has been in politics, yes, it's a bigger deal than seeing someone who has never been in politics before being an asshole. It's a big difference.
Well, Joe Biden played it as if he was morally righteous over Trump, but it just shows by him pardoning his son that he is no better than the dirtiest of dirt in government right now.
Yes.
Even Trump.
Yes.
They're pissed that people see Biden now is just as dirty as Trump, and they don't like that. They're trying to rewrite what happened by using fluffy wording to make it sound like he didn't really do things wrong like Trump would do. And why are we getting after Biden all the time when we don't do the same thing with Trump? Yeah, you do, bitch. You do all the time, every day. You never talk shit about Biden. And when someone does bring up something that's very accurate about what he did that was not right, you defend him to the death. If you're going to defend him to the death, who else will you defend to the death?
That you don't even know.
Who else are you? Who else? It makes me wonder who else they're covering.
I think that the biggest thing what they want is for people to fuck up and do whatever they want and then be able to be like, oh, but it's not that big a deal. Only if they're on their side. It's the craziest mental fuckery I've ever seen.
Yeah, they just want everyone to think like they do. And that's a very sick form of control.
And dangerous.
But that's what these people are like.
I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes, but when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
Why I'm an independent. Yes, but
I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats are
wrong. So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't.
And can I?
No, they don't. They don't say it on the show.
You didn't say it was wrong for him. You never said it was wrong for him to do it, but I understand. That will be a different conversation. It was wrong for him, but why do you think he did it? It's a different conversation. You said, why is it that he did something wrong and now everyone's mad at him, but Trump can do whatever he wants? That's what you said. Big difference.
That's
point
ridiculous.
This out to you. The president has a part in power,
you're ridiculous.
Right?
I didn't say you were ridiculous, Ms. Goldberg.
Yeah,
I would never. I said that. I just think that's ridiculous.
Think about it. Just think about it this way. Just very quickly, can you reframe it in this way and think about it maybe in this way? The president has the ultimate part in power. Every president has done this, right? Yeah. And so people are saying is that Joe Biden is now a liar, as opposed to Joe Biden is someone who now knows that the person that is going to be in the White House is on a revenge tour and his son is on an enemies list.
So he
you always got to use Trump in order to defend Biden. To defend anyone on the Democratic side, you have to shit on Trump. Like,
It's funny. They're so scared of him.
Try to do it without using Trump at all.
But they're just so scared. They're just so scared of him.
They
It's crazy.
can't do it. They can't do it. They would rather make excuses for the horrible shit the people on the left do and blame it on Trump every time. But America woke the fuck up from this nightmare and thought, you know what? These are people that are kind of assholes, and I shouldn't be listening to them because they don't have my best interest in mind. They have their own best interest in mind. Obviously, because their opinions flip-flop all the fucking time depending on what their side does, whether it be good or bad. Their opinions will change. You know, because if Trump did this shit, they would be all over him.
But they're saying that wouldn't happen. That's what Whoopi is so mad about, is that she doesn't think that anyone would be bad at Donald Trump right now. Why is it so shocking that Biden did it, but no one's shocked that Trump does everything he does?
Because you've been talking about Trump being a horrible monster and Biden being like Jesus
the whole time.
Come to find out, he's nothing but a horrible monster, just like the horrible monster you were talking about.
I would say he's just as bad. He f***ed your trust. He disregarded anything he said in the past in order to make gains for himself and his son in the future. If he had any actual trust in the American people and the courts like he said he did, he would have left due process to due process. Or he could have said, I changed my mind. But you know what he didn't say? I changed my mind. He didn't say that. He said, because this is so scary. It's so scary that Trump's gonna be here. My poor son, my poor crackhead laptop son. he's gonna be fucking followed.
Biden's mask fell off. That's what happened. And Whoopi's trying to pretend like that mask was actually his face. She's dumb.
And so he is using his rightful power, his rightful political power, to pardon his son. Now, is that a lie, or is that perhaps being pragmatic, having a change of opinion, as opposed to the president?
You're trying to make excuses for a lie by saying he changed his mind. But you could change your mind and it's still a lie. Two things can be accurate at the same time.
Okay, here's the thing. I think a lie, okay, if I tell you I didn't murder anyone, but I don't know, murder's my topic. Or, okay, I didn't steal your cookie.
Okay.
And then you find out, like, a few weeks later, different cookie, I stole it. But you haven't asked me. Am I lying to you now?
Well, it would be the same cookie.
I don't steal cookies, I'll say.
Okay, you don't steal cookies.
And then, well, that will be a lie. But if I say, I'm not going to steal your cookies, I will not steal your cookies.
Okay.
And then a few weeks later, I steal your cookies and you don't say anything to me. Am I lying to you?
Yeah, you lied to me.
I
It doesn't
didn't
matter
lie
if
to
you
you.
changed your mind. You told me you weren't going to do something and you did it.
But what if in between I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm now a cookie thief. Watch out.
Well, if you told me, after you told me you weren't going to do it, that you changed your mind, then that makes more sense.
So if Biden, that's the one thing that was missing here.
Yeah.
If Biden would have come out and said, by the way, change my mind. I still trust the courts, but I don't trust what could happen in the future. So I'm pardoning my son. That's a different situation.
He was pretty much saying in his statement about him pardoning his son that, well, it was evil and they were
targeted.
coming after him and it was targeted and blah, blah, blah. So I did whatever. But poor people, that happens to them all the time in like court cases. They don't got enough money and they get targeted for shit all the time. And then they go away to prison. They don't have any millionaire bailing them out, any
presidential daddy.
any sugar daddy bailing them out. So he just showed, improved with that statement that he made, that he's, what's the word I'm looking for? He's spoiling his son because he can.
Protecting.
And everyone else just has to suck it.
No, protecting. He's protecting his son like no American will ever be protected.
Because they won't be able to.
Because he didn't want to protect Americans like that.
Nope.
He only wanted to protect himself and his family like
Yes.
that. Which should show you why it was such a shitty America we were in.
Yeah. Anyway, that's good for us. Like and subscribe, join our memberships, and comment below. Share the video, and have a good day.
Bye.